My name is Umberto Mucci. This is We the ItaliaNews, a daily video broadcasting regarding Italy during the coronavirus times. Today is Friday, May 15, the 12th day of Italy on lockdown in phase 2. Yesterday's numbers confirmed the encouraging trend of recent days, but the deaths have risen again above the 200 number. This one is a curious data which just doesn't seem to be able to get down. And every day it hurts to count so many Italians that there are no more with us because of this nasty virus. The good news of yesterday is that of Sardinia, which for the first time sees for at least one day a region with no new cases and no new deaths. I dream of the day when this will be the data about the whole country for several consecutive days. It's a dream that one day will come true. It's not gonna happen anytime soon, but it will. Yesterday I was saying that for now we do not seem to see any negative effects from the beginning of phase 2, but that is still early. The reason is this: the average time between an infection and the onset of symptoms is 5 days. It is then necessary to consider the time needed to arrive at the diagnosis. The test must be requested, the swab carried out, analyzed in the laboratory, and the report completed. A process in which an average of 9-10 days pass between the first symptoms and the diagnosis. Finally, it must be taken into account that the communication of new cases from the regions is not automatic and immediate, but could be delayed. These are all elements that demonstrate how the concrete effects of the loosening of the lockdowns since last May 4 are not yet visible. They can only be calculated between May 18 and the end of the month. Let's hope everything goes well. From May 18, next Monday, practically all commercial activities will reopen, but according to a survey published yesterday, only a little more than half of Italians, the 53.6%, will go back to shops as before, and less than 2 out of 4, 42.5%, will go to shopping malls. More than half of Italians, 55%, will no longer go to restaurants as before, and almost half, the 48%, of us will not return to bars as frequently as before, compared to the pre-COVID-19 habits. Surprisingly, the 18 to 34 age group is the one who has the least desire to return to old habits. More than half of them, 55%, will go to restaurants less frequently, and the same goes for bars, 52%. 10% of them say they will never go back to bars, about 9% to restaurants, and 8% to shopping malls, but I'm sure they'll change their minds when this will be over. The Palio of Siena, the most famous traditional event in the whole world that dates back to the Renaissance era, or better, since Rinascimento, as everyone should call it, in any language, since it's an era that developed in Italy, well, the Palio of Siena will not be run this year because of the coronavirus pandemic. You all know the race, where bareback riders and horses representing the different districts of Siena, le contrade, have to charge 3 times around Siena's main medieval square, Piazza del Campo. Every year the Palio is held twice a year, on July 2nd and August 16th, but not this year. It would be impossible to maintain social distancing during the Palio, which normally draws tens of thousands of tourists to Siena. The Palio was last cancelled in the 1940s because of World War II, and before that during World War I, and in 1855 because of an outbreak of deadly cholera. After those relating to the beaches and restaurants, guidelines have been published regarding the reopenings of hairdressers, barbers, and beauticians. These activities can also remain open on Sunday and Monday, while before the coronavirus on these 2 days were closed. I really don't know why they were closed on Monday, nobody knows it, but it was like this. A continuous sanitation of spaces, workstations, and work tools is planned. The workstations will have to be separated by at least 2 meters, which is 6.5 feet, and customers will have to wait outside the shop. Reservations will be obligatory, and there will be no magazines and any other object that may be a vehicle of contagion among customers. It is mandatory for customers to use masks unless there will be the need to cut the beard, while operators will have to wear a transparent face shield. It will have to be measured the body temperature to customers, and of course to operators, giving them an individual disposable bag to collect their personal belongings, and preferred electronic payments. The sector is considered at medium-high risk and involves about 140,000 people, companies, and 260,000 people, employees. This is all for now. I'll see you tomorrow, Saturday. Please stay safe and stay healthy. Do not underestimate this virus, please. This was We the ItaliaNews. My name is Umberto Mucci. Ciao from Rome.